Hello to you all. I'm sitting outside and it's taken me a while to actually just get my mic on and start. There were a lot of helicopters flying around, so that was quite noisy. I started to use the helicopters as an excuse to delay this. In the meantime, I've been doing so much bird watching. I think I've mentioned the bird bath in the garden before. They take turns. They don't overcrowd it. They even queue as they take turns to drink. They queue above, in the tree above, waiting for each other. Sometimes twos and threes, but depending on, I feel like, the size of the bird, the smaller ones will wait on the side. Not just the smaller ones, whichever bird is waiting will wait on the side. It's almost like you can hear them communicating that I'm next after you. And they also don't fly onto the bird bath at the same time. They take turns. I saw how the birds also fill the garden when the helicopter is busy in the sky. There are just more birds in the trees, as if the helicopter is in the way and they must wait for it to pass. And then I saw a little bird with a feather in its beak, and I started to think to myself, is that bird thinking about what happened to the bird whose feather that is? I wonder. And then just now, before I turned the mic on, I saw this bird, I think it's the same bird, with a stick in its mouth. It picks up the stick from the floor, it flies up into the tree, and it hits the branches wrong, so the stick falls to the ground. So it goes back to the ground to fetch it. And it just got me thinking about whatever it is you're working on, to not overthink the stumbles and to just go. And I suppose the reason why I saw that bird doing that is because because of the reason I'm sitting here is because one of the things I saw in my vision today was the Nike tick. How it came to me was, I heard, just do it. Just do it. This is a nudge. This is a nudge from spirit to me. Just do it. I'll tell you why. But when I heard just do it, I thought of Nike. And then I saw the tick. And this was a reminder to me, a nudge to say, when I'm sharing from the heart, it's already approved. It's already perfect. And I know I've been talking about this issue for a while now, but it was very blurry for me what exactly I've been working to overcome. And yesterday it became glaringly clear. I am constantly working to overcome myself. And so this is probably the first time that I'm recording any audio where I don't feel completely balanced within myself. And I'm sharing that for the purposes of being open. I feel good. I feel good because I know what I'm doing. What doesn't feel good is my heart. My heart. My heart has not restored that sense of balance that I strive for. But I'm realizing that that's okay. I'm realizing that that's okay. Yesterday morning, you see, this period I've been going through feels very long. It feels drawn out. But I'm learning how to move in it. I'm learning how to accept it for what it is and move with it. Yesterday morning, there are some words I received. As I was writing them, I didn't understand them. But I realized I better write them down anyway, and I was still sleepy. I better write them down anyway because I need everything. I need all of the guidance I can get right now. And this is me becoming comfortable in the darkness, in the dark. Accepting that I'm in the dark for a reason. Here are the words. I'm going to share the words, and then I'm going to share how I unpacked them last night. Thermodynamics. Let people speak while I use different glasses to explain. Add another layer of wording. We'll all meet, provide information in words for their speech. They don't need a camera, just sound and ability to type words. Definition. Now, if you understand this anyway, in any way, the way I kind of understood it, I read it and I was like, this is mumbo jumbo. But then yesterday I had a purge during the day. I went through a purge, connecting back to my emotions. I believe these solar surges, they bring in a whole lot of this masculine energy that, until it's grounded, throws off this feminine sense of creativity. And it's for the purposes of expansion. I understand that. It's for the purposes of cracking us open so we can spread. But that's where I am. I'm in the process of finding my feet again. Planting them firmly on the ground. And so what's happening is that there is a renewed creative expression that requires for me to allow my heart to feel everything, even the new feelings, even the unfamiliar feelings. That is where I was slowed down. But I needed that. I needed to be slowed down there. And I'm still, like I say, I'm still in the middle of it. But this is where the structures I need to allow for the space, for the structures to spread and allow for my expansion. The structures can become fixed. And so for a while, I need to feel fractured in order for me to rearrange the pieces of me to allow for new creative expression. Yesterday, they also told me to write what I'm afraid of. And they said, listen, write. And I started writing. It says here, Gontse, you are afraid of being great. We have told you that you are great, and we will tell you what to do. Then later in the evening, I went back to the mumbo jumbo. And when I read it, it read very differently to me. The instructions of how to deal with the set of words is in the set of words. And it's actually something that I've been doing for a while. And it's something that my heart has been dying to do for you here on YouTube. It's something that I do in my personal readings. It's something that I've done on Patreon. It's something that I have snuck into YouTube videos here on Pyramid Energy, in between the poetry and in between what I want to share. But it's not something I've done in purity. And this is what I'm overcoming. And so this is what they were telling me, to just do it. Just do it. And this is why they showed me the bird flying up with its stick, dropping the stick, and then going back to pick up the stick and going back up. The word thermodynamics, in broad terms. Thermodynamics deals with the transfer of energy from one place to another and from one form to another. When I read that, I understood what thermodynamics means. The day before, well, when I first wrote it, I didn't understand why we're talking about physics. Why are we talking about physics? I don't understand physics. However, what they're showing me here, it also says a branch of physics that deals with heat, work, and temperature and their relation to energy, entropy, and the physical properties of matter and radiation. Some examples of thermodynamic systems are washing machines, refrigerators, and air conditioners. Air conditioner is a closed system that circulates refrigerant inside the system, altering the pressure of the refrigerant of different points to promote the transfer of heat. And so when I read this again, I realized that I'm a system, and as they want to communicate information to me, they send it through my body, and it's processed through my system. And it's through these changes that I'm able to feel what's coming in. However, it really takes a deep level of surrender to allow for this to happen when I'm not feeling as though I'm operating at my optimum level. But this is it, is that they are transferring information through me. And so I don't carry the responsibility of checking whether that's the right thing. I don't need to have the stage fright. I don't need to be afraid to give the wrong message. It actually says here, let people speak while I use different glasses to explain. Let people speak means leave them to express themselves. And that is whoever hears my words. That is who they is. That is who people is. While I use different glasses to explain, that means I will show you. That means they will show me. They will put the glasses on me so that I can see what they want me to see. Glasses, defined here, says a pair of lenses set in a frame resting on the nose and ears, used to correct or assist defective eyesight. And so, if I allow them to put these glasses on, they give me the lenses and they will correct and assist my defective eyesight. So there is no pressure for me to make sure that my lens is clear. And it says here, add another layer of wording. That's an instruction to me to overlay with my own words what they're showing me. So they give me words, and I have the liberty to add my own words over that. They say, we all meet. This means they will be here with me, with all of you, and that I'm not going in alone. Again, absolving me of the responsibility. It says here, provide information in words for their speech. This says, share words that are intended for them. Speech means a formal address or discourse delivered to an audience. They are being addressed. The address is to them. And so, this is not my personal advice to you. So this is where it becomes very blurry for me. And this is where I'm asked to remove myself. This is where I'm asked to remove myself so that the divine can speak through me, so that the divine can lay these lenses over my eyes, because my sight, the sight of myself, is defective. And the sight, once I let those glasses land on my face and I see what they're showing me, and I trust that I am handled, I trust that I am guided to just share, that I can continue. They don't need camera. That means I stop asking myself whether I need to do this on video. I stop. Just sound and ability to type words definition. All they need is my voice and my ability to type words to find the definition. And that is because I get words that I don't know the meaning of, and that I felt as a stumbling block in my channeling on this channel, because I'm interrupting to check Google all the time, but that is the way. I actually enjoy it. I enjoy it, and there have been times where I just do it so easily, but there are days like these, not today, but this past week, where I feel like that's an inadequacy. But it's not, because the divine told me yesterday morning that is how I have been designed for now. And so this process is by design. And so while I was lying here on the grass, I decided to take a clear quartz crystal and lay it on my heart, because specifically today I felt my heart burning again. It's that feeling of the solar flares landing and microwaving my heart. And so I put the clear quartz there, and I thought, let me lie on the ground and do some grounding, breathing, and letting the clear quartz amplify and just help me, assist me in clearing this energy and balancing it out. And then I put it on my solar plexus, and then I put it on my throat. And as I was breathing, I got the words absence, the word absence. And when I look up absence, it says the state of being away from a place or person. And when I looked at the etymology of the word, it says state of not being present, late 14th century, from Old French absence, absentia in Latin. Be away from, be absent. Off, away from. And it says, absence makes the heart grow fonder, is a line from the song Isle of Beauty by English poet and composer Thomas Haynes Bailey. And that quote caught my eye, because already they were explaining to me that they want me to talk about absence. Normally we'd look at absence as not being present, being away, yes, not being here. But in this case, they actually said to me, that is the beauty of absence. And so absence makes the heart grow fonder. What does that mean? That means when I allow myself to be absent, when I remove myself for a moment to hear the words of the divine, or whatever the divine is using me to say or do, when I allow myself to get lost in the divine, when I fully let go, the heart grows fonder. That means, wait, let's look up fond. Fond says deranged, insane. This is the etymology. Also foolish, silly, unwise. Be foolish, be simple. That's what it says. The meaning evolved via foolishly tender to having strong affections for. And so this is it. I'm getting now, love is a game for fools. Love is a game for fools. It reminds me of the card that I drew, the Rumi Oracle card with the guidebook, the card Layla. This expanded explanation, the guidebook explains this feeling of allowing yourself to get lost in the divine, in divine love, to not worry about how people are going to receive your words, how people are going to understand you. Get lost in it. That's where you want to go. It's pulling you in. Let go. Let go. There is no more trying too hard. And this actually made me cry yesterday in the shower. I was weeping because, first of all, I took the opportunity, I grabbed it because I haven't cried in some time. Cried as in allowed my body to release pent up energy that I don't need anymore, that's blocking me. I also, they've been talking to me about physics. And another term that's come up is entropy. And so I'm needing to create order almost, or accept that the entropy, what it is. And it's the chaos. It says here, entropy is the degree of disorder or uncertainty. So that, for me, explains I'm dealing with entropy. And when I look at the word entropy, it explains this feeling of disorder that I have. This feeling of not being in order. In order as in the expected arrangement, the way society expects me to be arranged. I feel out of sync with that. But that's because the divine is calling me to allow myself to let go of all of those structures. The degree of disorder or uncertainty, and that's it. That's the darkness I find myself in. When I put my mic on and I'm going to speak, I'm uncertain of what I'm going to say. I am uncertain. But I think that is it. That's the beauty of it, is that who is actually speaking through me if I am worried about uncertainty? As far as I'm worrying about uncertainty, I am in the way. And so I need to become absent. It says, the degradation of the matter and energy in the universe to an ultimate state of inert uniformity. Entropy is the general trend of the universe toward death and disorder. Death. That is what I'm going through. Death. I am allowing the parts of me that hold me back to die. And the more I hang on to those parts of myself, the more drawn out the experience. And that's what I was crying out yesterday. I was crying out the fact that I have been hanging on to a part of me that I want to let go of. When I say I want to let go of it, I mean I want it out of the way so that I can dive in deep. I want to be able to forget myself. I want to be able to do the things I love the most. However, I hold myself back. I cried because I am letting go of the part of me that holds me back. And I got a new understanding of what confusion is and doubt. Confusion and doubt is what happens when fear is trapped, and that fear of one's own self can steal your own greatest joy, showing up. And even that word trapped for me reminds me of the concept of entropy, because entropy also does not just happen in my body and in my energy. It's something that happens collectively as well. And so that's another motivation for me, because when I overcome this, I assist the system to overcome it. If one person can understand what I'm saying, be moved by what I'm saying, my job is done. And so this is me actively engaging in allowing absence to make my heart grow fonder. To allow myself to be foolish. To allow myself to be silly. Because apparently, this is what it feels like to let go and totally surrender to everything that is divine. And now as I looked up, I saw two pods, well, one pod split. No, it's two separate pods, but each has a half of itself left. And so I looked up the word pod, and it says here, an elongated seed vessel of a leguminous plant, such as the pea, splitting open on both sides when ripe. And so a pod is where the seed is held. And when the grain is ripe, the pod splits, it cracks open, and everything comes out. And that is what I am. I am a pod. My grain is ripe, and that's why my pod has been cracked open. I've been cracked open to allow for my seeds to fall onto the ground. And going forward, all I need to do is water the ground. I just need to be. And so, of course, I looked up the symbolism of watering a seed. And it says, the creative idea inherent in the word. Its nature is inherited from its parent source, God. The seed, that is, the word of God, is the real man, not the external thinking personality that has a consciousness of separation, but the internal spirit center. And so to close this off, I'm sharing with you a poem that I wrote last night called No Magic. Imagine there was no magic, no blessings, no miracles, no change. Imagine there was no magic, no dreams, no music, no color. Imagine there was no magic, no purpose, no power, no pleasure. Imagine there was no magic, no me, no you, no us. Sending you love.